Hello, my name is Katia Vladimirova. I'm a senior research associate here at the University of Geneva Institute of Sociological Research. And today I will present to you the International Research Network on Sustainable Fashion Consumption. Over the past 2 decades, fashion production and consumption globally has doubled. We have massive numbers showing us that production has moved to developing countries where there is poor labor rights protection, environmental protection. By moving production to developing countries, we see the drop in prices of fashion and the rise of what is called fast fashion. It is a new system in which a lot of inexpensive and low-quality garments are produced. Overconsumption and overproduction of fast fashion is causing massive environmental disruption, major social consequences, instances of modern slavery in supply chains of these corporations. And there is definitely all of these scandals and all of these problems are now coming to the spotlight of the media and finally to the attention of the research community. Well, it's important to, of course, understand how the production and the design can be changed in order to improve sustainability performance of fashion, but how we consume the practices of our daily routines and practices of buying apparel, using apparel, repairing, taking care of it, and also disposing of apparel are equally important. Two years ago, I have attended an international conference in Hong Kong that was looking at the changing consumption and production patterns by the Global Research Forum on Sustainable Consumption and Production. It was a very interesting conference at which I have noticed a lot of strands of research, but almost nothing and almost nobody spoke about the changing patterns in fashion consumption, this ever-increasing overconsumption of fashion in the developing countries. After the conference, we got together with some colleagues, the few colleagues who were interested in the topic at this big main field conference for sustainable consumption research. We got together and we talked about perhaps putting ourselves in touch, getting in touch and following up on each other's work. This was the start of what has now become International Research Network on Sustainable Fashion Consumption. It started off with a few people, and it has grown into a community, international community of over 40 researchers, academic researchers and practitioners working on different facets of sustainable fashion consumption. We have the geography of over 15 countries is presented in the network, and the disciplines vary as well. But everybody agrees that this collaborative effort was very important to foster conversations between scholars in different domains, in different disciplines, and overall, it has already produced some very interesting results. For example, we have recently completed with colleagues a systematic literature review on collaborative fashion consumption, which is due to be published in the Journal of Cleaner Production this year. Another systematic literature review is on the way, and it's always easier to do big systematic literature reviews with bigger number of colleagues. And what's the better way to reach more like-minded colleagues than through the research network that works specifically on your topic. Another big study that we're completing now links fashion consumption practices and the COVID pandemic, and we're exploring across 9 countries how these patterns have changed. Finally, we have been working together on a series of webinars for the network participants and recording these webinars and sharing with each other the knowledge and the learnings from each other's research, which has been very helpful in fostering this atmosphere of understanding and cooperation within this group of people. Initially, this project has been rooted in and closely linked to the work done by the group of Professor Marlene Sahakian, who works on sustainable consumption research at the sociology department here at the University of Geneva. Marlene has been very supportive of research in this new lifestyle domain, while her own expertise lies more in the areas of energy consumption, for example, the Energize project that she has recently completed, and food-related consumption pattern changes and studying Swiss diets, for example. So the research on sustainable fashion has been complementary and like a puzzle fitting into current research on sustainable consumption, which is done by the group of Marlene Zahakian, her PhD students and postdocs who are working with her. But it also fits well with the research done at the GEDT and Institute of Environmental Studies, Sciences, Institute of Environmental Sciences, where people are more interested in the sustainability and environmental impacts of different industries, of different practices. So research links have been made, and for example, recently I have presented at a seminar, GEDT seminar, some work that I'm doing related to fashion and sustainability.